This is about the time that I experienced a ghost in real life. And yeah, it was real. Cue the music.
All my niggas made for it. Everyone, not told but we slave for it.
You read it right. You read the title right. This is real. I experienced a ghost. What's going on, guys? It's Paris Monroe. I'm back again with another story time. This story time might not be quite as long as the other story time. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go see it. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. Tell your sister, tell your brother. I say it in every video. Tell your pastors, tell your uncles, deacons, aunts, nephews, everybody you know. Tell them to come on and join the family. I'm still working on a name for you guys. I'm numbering the number down as far as the list of names I have for you guys. But for the most part, you guys will get a name very soon for my subscribers. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you go ahead and go down and subscribe, comment, like, share, whatever you gotta do to make yourself seen, do it. But most importantly, go subscribe. It's very important. I met this guy online. For all my gays out there, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
How you doing?
It's for the LGBT community. Well, there's two, but that's besides the point. The point is I met him on one of those apps. And I'm very keen about those types of things because I've watched The Craigslist Killer and I'm not interested in getting killed, especially by nobody on no app that I meet for the first time. Like, I'm just not interested in that. So we exchanged numbers. Long story short, we're gonna call him, let's give him a name. We're gonna call him CASPER. Yeah, we're gonna call him CASPER. So CASPER and I, by the way, do you guys like my hat? I just got it today from Topshop. So in the comments below, let me know if you like my hat or not. 2017, I met CASPER on one of those social apps. We exchanged numbers. We talked for a while and then we exchanged numbers. Actually, we had stopped talking. He told me he was deleting the app. So, of course, the only way you're going to finish getting in contact with me is either through Instagram or my phone number. And so we exchanged Instagrams. We continued the conversation via Instagram on the DMs. And I gave him my number in the DMs. And I told him, I said, text me. Because we're not going to keep going back and forth on my Instagram DMs. What's the point of doing that? Just text me. It's the same thing. So we ended up having a conversation via text. And I forget when it was, but at some point I was like, oh, so when are we going to go out, like, you know, on a date or whatever? And he was like, oh, we can go soon if you want. I was like, yeah, that's true. I guess we can. But I wanted to FaceTime him because I wanted to make sure, like I said, we don't do Craigslist killers. Not this way. That's not, we're not going to do that. You're not about to kill Paris. No, honey, we're not doing that. He was really who he was. There was no catfish or anything like that. So that was cool to me. So we ended up going out. I forget, oh, where did we go? We went to the movies. I forget what movie we went to go see, but we wanted to go see something. And we sat there, watched the movie. The movie was great. We enjoyed it. Got popcorn, all that stuff. Now, with me, when I go out on first dates, I'm really, like, specific on going Dutch. Like, it does not matter to me, like, who pays. Like, if you're willing to pay, I'm cool with that. I'm not going to be willing to pay, so don't look for me to pay. Yeah, like, don't look forward to me paying for you. Like, it's just not going to happen. But we ended up going Dutch on the movie ticket. He bought his, I bought mine. And I guess the whole thing about that for me is, like, if we don't go out the next day, like, tomorrow you decide you don't want to talk to me anymore, you just, you know, completely throw it to the left, I feel like you owe me money. You know what I mean? Like, run me my money. Like, because you knew within the first 5 minutes that you wasn't going to call me back, so run me my money. You know what I mean? That's besides the point. So we ended up going Dutch. He paid for his ticket, I paid for mine. We kind of split the cost on, like, food and stuff. Like, I bought popcorn and a drink, and he ended up buying nachos, I think. And we watched the movie. The movie was great. We enjoyed it. He didn't fall asleep. Nobody fell asleep. You know, like, we enjoyed it. I decided after we left the movies, I was like, okay, so it's still early. So it's like, what do you want to do? Like, we're not just going to go to the movies and that's it. So we ended up going to this bar in the Village. And only reason I said the Village was because I knew that the Village would be very inexpensive. Because we were uptown in Manhattan, and it was very, like, the bars uptown in Manhattan, if you're not from New York or haven't been to New York, the bars uptown are kind of like, they're expensive because those are more tourist areas. We were in, like, the 34th Street area, so that's more like tourist areas. So we ended up going downtown to the Village, and the Village downtown is more like neighborhood, if that's the word I can use. Like, people who live there go downstairs, go to the bar, meet up with friends. It's very like neighborhood, like you live in New York. I feel like you guys get what I'm saying. We ended up going down to the Village. We took the train. Now, see, the thing about him is that I'm very keen to detail, And so on the train ride, I just happened to like notice, because I was looking at him, you know, flirtatiously, because he was cute. He was very cute. So I'm looking at him flirtatiously. I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying, honey. We're out. Me and you are together. We're out here trying to get a man. You guys are trying to get a man. I'm trying to get one too. You guys are here. You're here with me on this journey. I'm not going to make my channel solely based on my dating life and how terrible it is, but you guys, you understand. We're in a journey. We're here together. We're here together. Eventually, I will come to you and I'll tell you guys, meet my man. But until then, we're on a journey together. So, on the train, I'm you know, flirtatiously looking.
And just hold it. Keep my head.
All that. And he's looking back at me, and the way he was looking back at me, something about his energy, the way he was looking back at me, was just very like, I'm not going to call you back tomorrow. Let's put it in, I'm not going to call you back tomorrow. That's what the energy gave me. So he was looking at me, and the way he was looking at me was very much, in my head, I'm still keeping the same face, but in my head, I'm looking at him like, oh my God, I wonder if like my makeup is bad, or what's the problem? My eyebrows, like what's the problem? Why is he looking at me like this? But at the same time, my face is still giving the same thing. So it's kind of like, okay, we get to the village. When we get there, we go downstairs, we go upstairs to go to the street level. And so we're walking down Christopher Street trying to figure out what bar we're going to go to. I think it might have been Christopher Street. Either way, it was a street that had a strip of bars. And so we were trying to figure out, okay, we're going to go to this bar, we're going to go to this bar, what bar are we going to go to? We ended up finding a bar called The Groove. I believe it was called The Groove. Whatever, we're going to call it The Groove. And it was called the live band experience. They called it the Black Soul Experience, even though when we got there, it was Caucasian people playing. No, it's a video. And no offense to my Caucasian folks, I love y'all, but you guys aren't the Black Soul Experience, you know what I mean? So when we got there, we were both looking at each other like, Black Soul? Okay. But we got there, you know, they had a reserved seating, all types of stuff. Like, and I guess the people didn't show up that had the reserved seating, so we ended up taking it. So we sat down, we ordered our drinks, he ordered something to eat. I wasn't hungry, because I just really wasn't interested in eating. I was more interested in getting my cocktail. Okay, he ends up ordering mozzarella sticks. He's trying to feed them to me, and I'm just like, I'm not interested. But I gave in. I ate them. I ended up eating one because I was just trying to be a team player. So I ended up eating one. He wanted to feed it to me, all this extra stuff, and I did. But at some point during the day, I did feel like, okay, this is not gonna work out. And I don't know what it was, but something. Again, I'm really big on energy, and his energy just was giving like, it's just not gonna work out. And I don't know why, but it's just not gonna work out. These people come and sit next to us at our table. And it was a mom, her mom, and the mom's two sons. So I thought, because again, she's a black woman, but I thought that she was, like, that was her boyfriend. And so I turned to her, trying to make conversation with her, because I'm kind of like over him at this point. So I kind of like, not turned my back, but I definitely was. And so I asked her, and I said, so you're here together, you and your boyfriend? And she's like, my boyfriend? That's my son. We're getting off track. But I guess we're really not, because she gets up from the table and she's looking at me and she's like, you are so beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was like, girl, you're drunk. So she says to me, she leans in and says to me and him, she goes, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. You guys are so cute. You know how sometimes the straight girls, also all my straight girls out there, you guys can be very extra when it comes to gay people. Not all of us are the same. Not all of us like, you know, oh, yes, honey, oh, word, honey. Yeah, a lot of you guys can be very extra. All this, oh, word, honey, you're gonna serve. Not all of us are into that. And so that's what she was pretty much giving to us. And, well, me mostly, but us. And I was just like, I'm not mean, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, girl, stop. Like, I'm just cordial. So I was like, haha. You're so cute. As the date goes on, you know, the Black Soul Experience finally ended up happening. This black group gets up there, they're singing, and, you know, they're doing their thing. We vibing. We know all the songs, very neo-soul, Jill Scott, Anthony Hamilton, Erykah Badu, you know, songs like that. And so we were getting into the group of it, you know, it was what it was. I didn't keep track of the time, so it ended up becoming 2 o'clock. No, like 1:30. And so I would look down, I was like, so are you ready to go? Like, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? At this point, I'm tipsy boots. Like, I'm like, are you ready to go? I'm ready to go. We were all the way on West 4th Street. We were all the way on West 4th Street. What I'm getting ready to tell you, you'll gag. We were on West 4th Street. We walked from West 4th Street. Now, mind you, it was springtime. It was a little warm. It was summer, springtime. It was warm. Not cold. It was very much warm. We walked from West 4th Street all the way to West 42nd Street. Girl, I don't even know, like, I must have enjoyed that date that much to where I was really going to walk from West 4th Street to 42nd Street. If you know me, I love a good walk, honey. I'm not, opposed to it. However, West 4th Street to 42nd Street, but it was cute. We walked. It was nice and warm outside. And what was so great about that walk is that we were play fighting with each other, just cute little silly stuff. He carried me on his back half the way. And what was cute was because I didn't even realize that we had made it to West 42nd Street that quick. It was that quick. I wasn't tired. I wasn't out of breath like I should have been. But it was all around a good date. Even though I was kind of like over him, it still all around was a good date. The conversations were good. He definitely was giving me... boy answers, and definitely giving me that, but they were good answers. It was definitely what I wanted to hear. So I wasn't like, shooting my shots. Like, I was definitely not against the crappy answers he was giving me. Crappy in a sense of, I know you just really gassing my head up right now, because like there's no way you talking like this and you single. But that's besides the point. The next day comes, well, after we had, because he had walked me all the way to my bus. He was going to 34th Street. I was leaving on my bus on 42nd Street. I get to my bus, and we hug, whatever. That was the end of that. I was like, all right, see you later. Text me, call me, whatever. I get on the bus. I had texted him maybe like 4 minutes after the bus had pulled off, and I was like, oh, I had fun tonight. And he never texted me back. His phone was dying, so I guess that's probably why he didn't text me back. However, the next day came, he did end up responding. Or maybe it might have been later in that night. He did end up responding either way. The next day, I had texted him and was just like, regular conversation, trying to make conversation. Because I feel like, though, when we're dating or talking, there should be... We weren't even dating or talking. There should be conversation that to be had between each other. Whether we see each other one time, whether we see each other at all, there still should be a conversation had. Mainly because we want to get to know each other. If we're not going to hang out every day, how else are we going to get to know each other? We have to wait till the next date. The next date might not happen in a month. It might not even happen in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So texting for me, even though I hate it, I'd rather we do that to get to know each other than have to wait and prolong getting to know each other after every single date, because every single date might not happen. You know what I mean? So regardless of which, I ended up texting him. He took hours to respond. Hours. I mean, not hours, like hours. 1 o'clock, it'd be 7 o'clock by the time you respond. And I'm not with that. Like, you gotta fix that. If I bring it to you 3 times, you gotta fix that. Because at some point, I'm a dead it. I noticed that, like, he would take forever to respond back, so I ended up texting him and telling him straight up, like, I feel like you really are not pressed on trying to get to know me, or, whatever. And I guess he felt like I was coming on too strong, even though he didn't say that. I can take that he felt that I was probably coming on too strong, even though that was just my honest opinion, how I felt about us texting and communicating. Like, it just wasn't good. And so the more I realized that, and I did tell him that, I guess, like I said, he felt that I was coming on a little too strong. But that's just my character. I'm a strong individual, you know what I mean? So that's just who I am. He definitely chin checked me. And by that, I mean he definitely put me in my place and was giving very much, bring it down. I'm texting you. I did tell you that I was going to text you after the date. I'm not going to go ghost on you. Clearly, I'm not going to go ghost on you. I'm going to text you. So chill out. And I was just like, okay, I'll shut up then. In my mind, okay, excuse me. But the funny thing about that was, not even 3 days later, and again, this might be because I came on too strong or was too aggressive. Not even 2 days later, no conversations, no texts, no nothing. Went ghost. CASPER got real. because Casper ended up becoming him. And at that point, I was just like, okay, I clearly see me texting you saying, hey, and you don't respond at all. Maybe even a day later, you hit me with a hi. We're not going for that. So we're going to dead it because I can move on to somebody else who really would care to talk to me. And you clearly don't. So miss me with the crap. Miss me with it. Okay, so recently, Christmas time, December 23rd, 3rd or 22nd, whatever date it was, I was at the mall with a friend, and I knew that he had worked in the mall because I remember him telling me that he had worked in the mall. I just didn't know which mall, but he definitely told me that he worked in the mall. So we were at the mall he worked at, and I did not realize it, and I did not know it at the time until I left out of Bloomingdale's, and I'm walking. The mall was packed. I mean, everybody and their grandmother was in there. We walk out of Bloomingdale's. We're walking down towards the entrance. I guess we were leaving at the time. We were walking towards the entrance. And no, we weren't leaving. We were going towards the food court. But we weren't going to the food court. We were just going in that direction. And again, the mall's packed. Full crowd of people. I was ahead of my friend, and I was just looking forward, looking in the stores, minding my business. I turn, and I hear a voice, and the voice sounded so familiar because he laughed, and I just remember it because it was such a unique laugh that I remembered the laugh. And so when I turned, child, he was there, right there in front of me. Looked at me, and it was like at an angle. So he was here, I'm right here. I looked, and I was just like, oh my God. In my head, I was like, oh. And it happened so quick. Like, you always play back, like, one day, what if I run into him? How am I going to react? This was that day, and I just wasn't sure how I was going to react. So when I seen him, I was just like, oh my God. And I was just like, my face was so, like, I don't even know what face I was making, but it was so, I was mad at myself because I was like, oh my God, this was my chance to show him, like, you missed out on it. But I was just like, I was so taken back by it. And his face was, hey, how you doing? But the gag was, when he got past me, my friend, who he didn't know I was with because he had never met that friend, said that his face was very much like a big expression, like a oh my God shock. I went into Ann Taylor. I just ran into that store and I had to collect myself because I gagged. Okay, I gagged. And I was just like, yo, my friend came running and she was like, who was that? I was like, I told her the story. And so I was just like, yo, we need to leave. Now I want to leave the mall. It was a done deal for that. And yeah, that was the time I met a ghost. And I seen the ghost in person again. Don't deal with boys who ain't got nothing for you. Do better for yourself. Treat yourself better. And don't let these children talk to you any old kind of way. At all. That's my motivation for you in 2018. And that's my wish and prayer for you. Don't let these boys talk to you any kind of way. And don't tolerate anything from these boys that you wouldn't tolerate for your own self. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Alright guys, go subscribe down below. Hit the little notification bell so you'll always know when I post a video. I appreciate you guys more than you know from the deepest parts of my heart. I love you, I love you, I love you. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you go tell your friends, tell everybody you know. Come on, join the family. We're gonna get better. We're only gonna get better from here. Go follow me on Instagram at Paris Monroe. There's no spaces. It's just like you see below. ParisMunro. I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Bye.
But we slave for it. Not Toby, no Kuta Kente, but we slave for it.